On a glorious winter's day here in the north of Italy. We accelerate up to the line and we race. Antonelli goes left and then just throws it down into turn one. Gets the start and a great getaway by Rafa Kamada in second place. Joseph already muscles his way into third place, goes by the American Ugo. A hectic start. We're looking for Nicola Zoloff, who runs one of the KRs off the road, quite simply. Norton Andreasen, watch the super sweet for Ward Racing as well. He's up into sixth place in this early stage of the race. Alfio Spinner has restarted, but he's under investigation. It will not be Il Siciliano's afternoon. The kart did fire. Eventually he rejoined, we believe incorrectly, potentially, not for us to decide. Needless to say, Alfio is under investigation. As Antonelli continues to lead from Rafa Kamada at the end of the first lap. There's Joseph going through, there's Norton. And then Brando trying to fight his way up through from ninth position ahead of Severukin. Then it's Mart, Stenson at 2.32 in the Lennox Racing Leclerc kart. Antonelli looks good, he's got 0.6 of a second over the rest of the field at the moment. Down the inside, Ugo retakes the place from Joseph. The Sauber goes by the Tony kart. Sitting in just behind, you know it's the Londoner Lindblad, last year's WSK Supermaster Series champion. Look how Antonelli just aims for the ripple strip. The KR is hooked up, it's got grip, it's got horsepower. He leads from a similar machine of Kamada. Okjunior, despite making that move on Turney, is at this point the fastest driver on the circuit. Turney under attack from Lindblad. There's Norton in the background, the super sweet for Ward Racing. Straight lines, the ripple strip down the inside, and Lindblad, he's now the top Brit, goes by Joseph Turney. Norton trying to drag himself into contention as well. They're losing a ton of time to the race leader, Andrea Antonelli. Alfio Spinner with the black flag. Il Siciliano F40. The Sicilian is out. He'll come across the line. He's disappeared off our timing screen. He was running in 17th place. He's out of the race. He has been black flagged. That's a real disappointment. We'll see him back next week for the WSK Supermaster Series. As we concentrate on the fight for the lead, it is Kart Republic, the home of Dean Church. Dino Chiesa masterminding the KRs. They run 1, 2, 3. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's Lindblad. Norton now up into P5. The top Tony kart ahead of Joseph Turney. We take a look at this. Oh, there was contact, big time, huge time. Incredibly, they kept on going. That's why Turney lost all that momentum. That was incredible. Almost a replay of what happened in 2020. Lindblad now closes in on the back of Okjunior. Sorry, it's Kamada on the back of Okjunior. The South American on the North American. There's Lindblad in the background. That was one incredible spin and win for Joseph Turney. How he kept it going is an absolute miracle. He's still in the race. It was almost a replay of when he came together with Kirill Small in the energy kart 12 months ago. And if I'm not mistaken, the same part of the circuit as well. Norton, Artem Severukin, Tuukka Tappinen, Nicola Zoloff in the battle for the final position in the top 10. Luigi Coluccio, he's in 11th, but he's just hit the fastest lap of the race. Kamada now back to third from Ugo. The Kart Republics run 1, 2, 3, 4. Joseph has retaken 5th place. It takes a lot to rattle the super talented Brit, but I dare say that would have shaken him up somewhat. His teammate Tuukka Tappinen's behind. Norton Andreasen also with his teammate Artem Severukin. Brando Badoes in 9th. And Nicola Zoloff ahead of Coluccio. He's in 10th place. Karol Pastrovic in the Fernando Alonso kart, the fastest lap of the race for the pole in 13th place. So we pass 1/4 race distance. We check the gap from Antonelli to Ugochukwu and Kamara. It is 1 second. Antonelli is just driving away. He's like a junior robot. He's like a machine. He's only tiny. He has grown up a bit in the last 12 or 18 months, but he rarely, if ever, makes a mistake. Robotic like is Antonelli. When he does get a lead, when he does pull away, he often just disappears down the road. Kamara in third place. Lindblad is watching. You get the sense that Lindblad has got the speed. He's waiting for the opportunity. How is Turney still in the race? That was just miraculous. Let's hope there's not damage to the Englishman's car. Tuukka Tappinen in the background as well. It happened so quickly. I will confess I did miss it as we were looking at the timing screen. The team at WSK Promotion bringing you the replay. As Kamara goes down the inside, the South American takes the North American. He's the Londoner Lindblad who launches. He's on the podium. He's Arvid. Ugo from P2 back to 4. Turney, Tappinen, Artem Severukian. The Green Machines, what do they have for the karts manufactured by Dean Church? Dino Chiesa. The KR Machines, the Kart Republics. First, second, third, fourth. In various colours, they come under the bridge. So Turney with that spin and win. Tappinen behind. Severukian. And it's Solov, Baduer, Pashevic. Norton has fallen back to 11th from Kuhacic, Stensonet, Coluccio. Givnot, Pirtilati, Eduardo Villa. Christian Bertuca, Callum Bradshaw in 19. And his Commonwealth cousin, James Wharton. The Englishman leads the Australian. Jimmy James in position 20. Was running in the top 4, but they have just struggled to keep the kart going towards the later stages of the race. They'll have a new chassis on track for next week. The first round of the 2021 Supermaster Series here at Adria, where we're expecting another glorious winter's afternoon, the last weekend in February, before we descend south to La Concamuro Lachese World Circuit for the second round of the Supermaster Series. And it's back to an all-new Circuito Internazionale Napoli, simply known as Sano, a new layout. We're looking forward to racing at the foot of the active volcano that is Mount Vesuvius. And then we're back at the center of the karting universe, South Garda Karting Lonato, for the final round of the WSK Supermaster Series. We're also back there for the WSK Euro Series in 2021. Well, it was a nightmare in 2020, but it's turning into a dream at the moment for Antonelli. A full second ahead of Kamara, who has not given up on taking the race victory. In fact, he's just taken a 1/10 of a second out of the Italian. As the Brazilian with Arvid in third, the American Ugo P4. Turney, Tappinen, Severukian. Solov, Baduer, Pashevic, and Mart just outside the top 10. Martinez Stensonet, the Lennox Racing Leclerc kart. There is Tuukka, 210, Joseph in 211, the Finn behind the Englishman. Half race distance, Antonelli. Almost certainly this will be a Kart Republic victory. The Tony karts, they fight amongst themselves as Tuukka goes by Joseph. And the factory Green Machine straight positions. Under the bridge, the gap was 0.8 of a second. It's down to 0.7. So Rafa is catching him as Tuukka and Tuukka and Joseph. In fact, Joseph let Tuukka back through. It looks as though Joseph's nose cone is dragging on the bitumen. Maybe it is just an illusion from this point of view, but after the contact earlier on, it would not be surprising. He let his teammate go back through, the best chance of catching the Kart Republics. Rafa Kamara, 7/10. It was 1 second between Antonelli and Kamara. 8 laps remaining at the end of this one. Rafa, can he take Andrea? Kamara from Recife in Brazil in second place in 2:02. 2:01 is position 1. Antonelli, the gap is half a second. The boy from Brazil is catching Il Bolognese. It was 1 second. There he is right behind. It's down to 5/10. He's got the setup to come on strong later in the race. Here comes Kamara. Ugo under attack from the Tony Karts. He's off the podium. He may fall down the order. There is Severukian catching him as well. Zolov, the Bulgarian Lion, still in position 8 from Baduer and Karol Pashovic. Also in an all-new Fernando Alonso kart. Into the hairpin, there's Kamara. There's Lindblad. Ugo, he's passed by Tappanen. Turney tries to get him as well. He gets them on the exit. They both lose a ton of time. The final podium position is disappearing up the road in the form of Arvid Lindblad, who's now going down into turn 2. 2-1-0 to Tappanen, 2-1-1 Joseph Turney. Ugo ahead in the Sauber Kart Republic. They've passed him twice, but he's got them back on the exit. They've also traded positions amongst themselves. As Turney and Tappanen, as Rafa is 0.4 of a second. I don't need to tell you that. You can see it's just over a kart length. Elasticized as they accelerate and then brake. Good few sections of corners though. Proves me a fool as Antonelli pulls away and puts it about 4 kart lengths, but Rafa does close up, going down into turns 1 and 2. This is where the Brazilian looks good. There's Arvid. We'll check the gap between himself and Rafa. It's 0.9 of a second. As we approach the final quarter of the race, 0.3 of a second between Antonelli and Kamara. Goes out to 2 kart lengths approximately. Does Antonelli? He'll be able to scent. He will, believe it or not, be able to just here, particularly in that corner right there, and the left-hander, the similar IAMI engine. He'll get glimpses out of his peripheral vision of the purple 202 of the boy from Brazil in 2nd place. They come onto the straight, a little bit scrappy from Antonelli. He knows it. Looks over his left shoulder. The gap has come from 1 second to 9/10 to 8 to 7 to 5. It's down to 2/10 of a second. Now he's glued to the rear bumper of Il Bolognese. Rafa Kamara is right on the back of the Italian. The WSK Champions Cup for 2021. Here's an opportunity too far back. Antonelli, the better bottom end. And Kamara seemingly with 1 or 2 more kilometers an hour up top. Of course, he does get the benefit of the slipstream 130 k's an hour going down into turn 1. Lindblad, is he in this battle still as well? Can the Londoner catch the KRs in front? Tighter line from Kamara. Again, Antonelli looks over his left shoulder. We're checking the gap not only between Andrea and Rafa, but also back to Lindblad. It's 1 second to the Londoner. That's the corner, the left-hander that Rafa loves to pass on. Goes down the inside. It is o menino do Brasil, the boy from Brazil. Rafa Kamara takes the lead in the WSK Champions Cup. He has cut down the lead from the Italian, the favourite for the first championship race of 2021, from 1 second to pass the highly rated Mercedes Junior. Rafa Kamara from Recife in South America comes onto the straight with 3 laps to go. What can Antonelli do? Look at Lindblad in the background. It is Kart Republic 1, 2, 3. Incredibly, Tuka Tappanen. He's in 4th place. Antonelli just sits there. He's losing time. Rafa has got this. If he does not make a mistake and just drives as hard as he possibly can, he will win. Antonelli loses about 2 kart lengths now. Make that 3 into the right-hander. He's got the bottom end drive though, does Antonelli. Kamara with possibly one gearing different, 1 tooth different on the rear sprocket. Watch the line coming onto the straight. That was better from Antonelli. Lets it drift. He gets a better run to Kamara. And now it is 2 laps remaining. The gap is now 0.2 of a second. It is Kamara ahead of Antonelli. Lindblad trying to drag himself into the fight for the lead. Antonelli will have nothing left to lose. It's a one-off Champions Cup. This famous race that dates back to the 1970s when it was held at the nearby Jesolo Pista Azzurra, resurrected by WSK Promotion in the last decade, held at the world-class Adria karting raceway. And it looks as though we've got a South American following in the footsteps of the late great Ayrton Senna, who won that race 4 decades ago at Jesolo. Rafa Camara to get the last lap board now. Antonelli again drifts wide. Now Camara's worried. Goes slightly defensive. The gap 0.2 of a second. Just lets the car drift. Tighter line from Antonelli. He's too far back. Camara, can he do it? Neatly over the ripple strip in the middle of the circuit, just enough to dissuade Antonelli from making the move into the right-hander. Antonelli is quick in this part of the circuit, but he's too far back. Nervously skates under brakes, does Rafa. The final opportunity into the hairpin. He's too far back. Rafa Camara, 2 corners from victory. The checkered flag is about to wave. O menino do Brasil, the boy from Brazil. Rafa Camara wins the WSK Champions Cup for 2021. Antonelli P2, Arvid Lindblad 3. It is the independent kart republic of Dino Chiesa who lock out the podium. Tappinen, home in 4th place from Artem Severukian, who did get by Ugo Ugachukwu, the Ward Racing Russian. A great drive from 12th on the grid to finish in P5.